DEFECT run. Chimera, your starting deck is a fusion of all characters. So we still get 3 strikes, 3 defends, bash, zap. We lose dual cast, which is a shame because that makes DEFECT strong in Act 1. We get explosion, eruption, whatever it is. The card that makes the Watcher die, but also makes Watcher kill things. And silence block, I believe, the survivor. So you can discard stuff sometimes. We get colorless cards in rewards. Chimera doesn't mean you get other color rewards. It's just the starting. So sometimes it's okay. And binary, we get 2 cards. I much prefer it when we don't get synergies in the modifiers, because the modifiers are mostly negative. So you sort of get like it becomes almost exponential-ish. Well, I guess so. Hey, Corin, how you doing? So, like, binary is a kind of neat reward, like, modifier because you get less choice. Or colorless is kind of neat because you mostly get bad choice when it gets added to your reward. But now when you're getting 2 of them and one of them's colorless, we'll see what happens. What have you been up to, Corin? 1, 2, 3. That's how we're getting there. We might just... Do we want to duck into a store early? Yeah, why not? Playing a bit of this and that. How's Mountain Blade treating you? Barrage could be something. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting an extra block card in since you only start with 3 defends. And Steam Barrier is fine. 0 cost makes it playable. Oh, really? They're good hits. They're really good hits. That's probably best case scenario. So is it a... How does it play through? Like, is there a start to finish, or is it more just do stuff, quests, levels? Do we want to streamline? It's more sandbox? What about... So... I think the sandbox for me is now a confusing term because I'm old enough when I was around where sandbox meant sandbox, and now it sort of gets put in as much stuff as roguelike does. Because if, you know, and I have to be wary because normally when a game used to be advertised as a sandbox, that sort of meant like there was nothing to do. You had to go in there and do everything yourself. There might have been some systems or some mechanics, but no stuff to do. And that sort of changed. Well, people call games sandbox now, but they're not. There's no storyline. Are there quests? Like anything? Or is it just all mechanics and interactions? Which, don't get me wrong, mechanics and interactions can be great. I don't know if there is a thing for it now. Deliver this here and deliver that there. Yeah, so... Oh, now I get the option for a curse. Lots of money, though. I don't want to carry it all the way. Let's get the 100 gold. Yeah, so for me, I often find in situations like that, it's like, why am I doing it? Like, for sometimes it's. I've had a lot of games that I've really enjoyed the time I've spent with it, but it's been a small amount of time. Would I have done anything differently? No. Because I get to the stage where it's like, I'm done playing with the mechanics, you know? You have to set your own goals or you're not doing anything. Yeah, so then that's definitely a game that I will have, like, never have any interest in playing. Mainly because, yeah, it doesn't take me very long to get to that point where it's like, okay... Like, I worked in game dev for a long time. I make my own software bits and pieces, so I play with mechanics all the time. I actually want to do something when I'm playing a game, you know what I mean? One of the, like, a really good example, and I don't know how much it's changed. Two really good examples though, and both from Clay, which, you know, Clay has made some very good products, and Invisible Ink, I guess, just wasn't for me. But I remember playing Oxygen Not Included and Don't Starve, when pretty much all it was interacting with mechanics, and they were immensely fun. Until I got to a point where I'd sort of worked through most of the mechanics and had the first sort of 10-15 hours into the game, and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? And people are like, you just keep playing. I'm like, but what do I do? They're like, you play. I'm like, but what do I do? You know, you try to go further, or last longer, or do more things, and I'm like, why? And the response usually is because it's fun. It's like, well, it is. The interactions are fun, but I want to have a goal. We started off with Mountain Blade crit, and then the generalist of sandboxes. And I did have someone once in the channel, they're like, oh, it was really funny, like, you know, because they called me a young kid, which is great. I love that. They're like, you young kids, that's the problem. You need to have, like, can't you ever just go out to your sandbox and play and enjoy things? I'm like, well, I can, and when I want to do that, I'll specifically go do that, you know. But when I sit down and I want to play a game with rules and structure and goals and guidelines and stuff, that's what I want to choose. You know, that, and I became an adult at some point where you know, I no longer had mum and dad putting me outside during summer holidays for the entire day because they didn't want to put up with kids running, screaming around the house. So it was go outside and make your own fun. Like, that no longer exists when you get to an age where you pay your own bills. So if I'm going to buy a game, I'm buying them supplying the fun and entertainment. That's just me. Well, that's the thing. If I'm in a mood where I want to create my own fun, I'll go do that, right? But when I'm like you, Cybershot, when I want to go play games, I want to play the games. Like right now, Slay the Spire has given me a thing to do, and my goal is to get to the end and kill the final boss. Right? And I'm fine with that. And Don't Starve was great. But one of the reasons that I really thoroughly did enjoy Don't Starve is that I love those sort of crafting mechanics. You know, where you gather this material and some of this material and you put it together and now you have this tool. Then you can use this tool to get these crafts. And when you put these ones together, now you can create this other item and use some of those to make this thing, which will make more and I just love that sort of game, right? What I don't like is... am I going... I'm a collector or thingies? Yeah, so RimWorld's a game that intrigues me, right? Is there an end? Or is the idea just to last as long as possible? And for me, the issue with if it's just to last as long as possible, why? Oh, there is an end in RimWorld? Cool. But it's optional. Yeah, so I could understand in a game like that, where you get to choose when it ends by completing the objective. For me, I think that's totally fine, because you get a lot of story-driven games where you can choose not to fight the last boss, right? There's a lot of open story-driven games, you know, like especially coming from, like, I love third-person adventure RPG type games. You know, you can just not go fight the last boss. You go off to another planet or another zone or another ending, do whatever you want. Go back to the early levels if you want to grind up some more things to craft up items. And then eventually you might be like, okay, it's time to go fight this last boss, right? And then you go fight the last boss. You know, so in a strategy game or something that's more of a city builder or a community builder thing, or in-depth crafter where you can just keep choosing to build a bigger city because you're like, man, we could go do the end game thing right now, but this is really cool. I just want to keep going bigger and better. Like, those games are great because they give the player the actual choice of, you know, in that situation, when am I going to finish? Sometimes the game chooses for you and says, you're going to finish now because we're going to kill you off and you're going to lose. That's a different side of it, though, right? Which is also totally fine. But yeah, when the game basically just says to me, go play, I'm like, no. I'm usually somewhat saddened by it. Especially if it's a game I'm having a lot of fun in. I didn't find the Wheel of Fortune event. I did not find the Wheel of Fortune event. Did you? You got a decay from it? Oh, that sucks. Okay, so I need to kill that off and block for more. We're gonna block for more. I need more than a cold snap. That'll be 4, 7. I need more than a cold snap. So I need the survivor, or I can sweeping beam into. I can push that over for 5. That'll be 8. That's not enough. I don't want to focus here either. So like hologram a defend, because that's enough. I have to play that. Good. I'm gonna die because of eruption. Still probably one of the better. Beam cell. Just get the sweeping beams upgraded. I can feel eruption gonna kill me. That's too much right now, yeah. There we go. More strength. It's not much better. Yeah, it is much better. How do I feel about Souls games? It's like third-person adventure RPG is my jam. And if I had to like dwindle that down to like hone to go even more, then I would take the Souls section of that over all else. The biggest reason is that I am terrible at choosing appropriate times to save my game, and quite often have to replay large chunks of game because I die, which happens, well after going through multiple dialogue trees. Souls games takes that away from you by saving every time you hit the bonfire, missile, whatever you want to call it, and then, hey, exploits. And then when you die, well, you know, the dialogue tree wasn't, you know, the thing anyway. I think we're going to go Pauper. Sure. And I just love the Souls mechanic of, if you want your stuff back, you have to go and get it. It puts a little bit of, just that little bit of your choice matters. I haven't played Dark Souls 2 or 3. I do have them. Do we pyramid? I think we totally pyramid here, right? I think a lot of low-cost cards. The Surge series, both the Surge games, like the DLC for the Surge as well, like, for me, that, like, Surge is king. So that's the only way to get 2 elites, so we have to at least get to there. That's got 2 upgrades, which is nice. No store, but... well, that also gets us 2 upgrades? No, 1. Yeah, so I can only comment on Dark Souls 1. The thing is, though, and it's debatable, but the community generally picks, you know, is divided sort of 50-50. I know that there's a bigger in-depth lore, and I like the fact in the game that you can go and explore and get it. But one of the reasons that I sort of thought the lore, for me, the lore in Dark Souls was meh, was because it wasn't delivered in my playthrough. And I'm not doing a second playthrough. Well, I probably will at some stage because I want to do 2 and 3, so I'll play 1 before I do 2 and 3. Do you take a floor 1 meditate? I don't know, I can't play Watcher very well. Sekira's on my list of games to play. What makes it not quite a Souls game, though? Because I haven't played it. It's less about rolling and iframing. I'd say rolling and iframing is less about Souls game than all the other mechanics. Should have blocked more. Guarding, parrying, and slashing. Oh, if it's only swordplay, yeah, that's a thing, I guess. Panz, why don't you block with the card that'll do all the block? And being a shinobi sounds pretty good though, right? Am I doing the thing where I'm choosing not to block again? Why are you doing that thing, Panz? That's a nice twist on it. I kind of like that idea of, like, employing a different combat. Could memories be really good? I don't know if we're going to use it that much. Your biggest frustration with Souls games is having to chew through ridiculous health bars over a long period of time in a fight you've otherwise beat mechanically. Yes. I think that's one of the reasons why I liked the Surge so much, was that for me the health bars didn't feel like that. Like, it felt like once you understood the mechanics of a phase in the boss fights, you would just win the fight. And poking was possible, but really, like, that would take a long time. Like, you had to sort of find an opportunity to open up and do serious damage. Do I erupt here? I don't think I do. A claw? No. Maybe I should have run. I don't know, I like the whole idea of those small worlds where everything becomes that little bit familiar. You know, where you end up seeing the same part of the zone over and over again because it matters. I do like how some of the modern games have put a slightly different twist on it. To, instead of having, like, the one thing that stands out for the original Dark Souls to me is the fact that like it's got that sort of, like, Firelink Shrine's the central area, even though it's not really central. It's central to the whole world, but not central to the loop. Central to the loop's kind of like the bonfire in when you leave Firelink Shrine into, I can never remember what it's called, lower something or other. The one before the Taurus demon. You know, where you can go down to the, like, under the... Yeah, you can go down... Or you, is that where you go down into the bridge? Man, I'm getting all spun around now. I think everyone knows where I'm talking about. But how when the world sort of loops back on itself, type of deal, and you end up back at a spot that, you know, and you unlock any door that just leads to an area that you've already been to, but now you've got a shortcut or a different pathway. You know, I love that sort of opening up of the Souls worlds. The same as Metroidvanias. Like, when I look at platformers, I love Metroidvanias for that sort of feel where the reason to unlock the shortcut is purely just to unlock a shortcut. There's teleporting from the beginning. Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about that when teleporting came in Dark Souls. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was necessary because when you finally get it, you've branched a lot of areas that have reached sort of like if you zoom right out in Dark Souls 1, it's a hub and spoke area, right? But the hub's got a very big diameter of interconnection between it, and then the spokes come off the outer rim of that. And so being able to teleport to those spokes is good, but then you also lose that fact of you need to navigate and go through the shortcuts that you created. But I think by that stage of the game, you kind of, you know, you just want to, you don't, there's no reason to make the player go through bits that they've probably by that stage hopefully mastered and can just sort of run through and avoid stuff and kill stuff at ease. You know, so it does sort of give that respect to players' time. Ooh, that's... Guess we're taking damage here, no matter what, right? I think about that heal. If you die at the boss, you can just run to the boss instead of doing the whole area again. Yeah, that can be frustrating for some players. I think it's all a matter of perception, though. Right, and I think because it's RPG style game, people get cranky when they have to redo areas they've cleared out. Even people that played grew up in coin-op generation, where, you know, if there was no checkpoint in a Mario level, did Mario 1? I don't think Mario 1 had any checkpoints. I know Mario 3 definitely had checkpoints. I don't think Mario 1 did. I think it was either beat the level or no, it did have some, right? At pipes things? Mario 1 does have? Yeah, but not in all the levels. But if you didn't make it to the checkpoint, everything got reset and you started the level again. Just like in a Souls game. And you would have to go through all the enemies that you'd already... You know, all the Goombas you'd stomped on, all the Koopas that you'd kicked out of their shell. Mario 1 has a checkpoint at half level. Yeah, I thought it had something in there, but it doesn't actually show it as a checkpoint, does it? It's just sort of when you get past it, if you die, you respawn there. World 8 has none? Maybe. Ooh, these... Yeah, maybe duplicate potion. Got claw. Yeah, so you do, like, you've got to do check, you know, a lot of games say if you die, you're doing this stuff again. But it's very easy, very convenient to forget that. Huh. No Claw's floor? No, I do have 4 of them already. and no draw. This one could be good here. I mean, I've got the things, but they don't really count. Rude. I think I might keep it for collector. Got to win before the wounds kick in. I think this... Well, find a way into calm as well could be good. That's a good mix of games you've got there. Cold set. I don't want a relic that gives me more rare cards that I'm not taking. You've been banging your head to beat the Rock Bee and it's an aggravatingly good time. Is the Rock Bee the one that has the ice missile? Or is that the sea? I've got to play Exapunks, I really want to play that. That's the sea. That's a... Oh, the rock bee is the... Oh, is the rock bee the black ship, the one with no external doors? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it has the firebomb? Oh, that's a tough one, yeah, but it's fun. We're actually wanting some energy now, so that's going to come in good. If I take Sundial, sure. You vent with firebombs, nice. Okay, we need to get uh-oh. We're in trouble here. I have pyramid. Oh, so lucky. Yeah, I've got most of the Zachtronics games. And they're really good. Snecko, be kind. Snecko being a jerk. A big fat jerky doo-doo head. Woo. That's a good complaint that the OST is missing something. Like that's kind of okay, right? FTL has spoiled us, right? Yeah. That's fair. Like, FTL has definitely spoiled us. In so many ways. You need a bit more variety. There's 28 ships in the game. Ah, you mean the Xbox OST. Okay, fair enough. So this is where someone in it, there's part of me is like, just use the eruption pans, start dealing double damage pans. What could go wrong? That's a problem. Nine, 15, 21. Okay. Okay, that has to be a... defend pack. So it'll be 27. We block 3, 7. I've got to find another 20 block in 2 cards. I should have capacitied earlier and used things, maybe. Oh, and 7. I can get it down to 27. I can get 12 block on there. We've played that twice, which will be... No, I'd have to play that one twice with a duplicate. Then I can hologram a hologram. 6, 12, 18. I don't think I can get there. The weekend will do 9. So that's definitely in play. So I've got to block 27. But I don't know if I'm going to dupe the hologram or hit the cold snap. Also a defend plus in there. But we are vulnerable. So if I can't get there, there's no point even using the dupe to save the dupe pot. 12, push 1, which would be 8 and 7, 15. 18. Alright, do or die. Ugh. No Snecko. I do have a white beast, so Bark's looking good. Unique curses ish. Do doll. Not worth. energy relics rough though. Birds. Oh, it's fast burst. We'll just pretend that one didn't happen. That's right, we'll do that. One sec. It's the neighbours putting their bin out. Alright. Nice. Problem with the innate is our opening hand would be bad. It's a good card to have available. I think I might just do it. It's a good card to have available, especially against Workbloke. We're not playing any powers, are we? So we're hoping for a. We're actually hoping to get a focus potion. I'll lose Zap. No way I'm not tempted to play it. Whereas Strike, you just play it. Whereas I want to keep Frost up for Workbloke. Okay. I can't bring myself to do it. Jorum's just evil. Definitely need to get a wriggle on here. Oh, settle down, buddy. Purity could be the way to go. Is that 4 cold snaps? Nice. Yeah, if we can get some early frost down, we definitely need to just grab a focus potion. It's fine to use now, I guess. I was just thinking, as long as we don't get the big hit. Let's go for the eyes somewhere, but I don't think we can play on where it's going to be. Oh, my dupe went twice. I was wondering why that happened, so then my purity went twice. That's interesting. Just gotta get in before those burns do way too much. I should play the one cost of thing. And Zap actually blocks in situations like this, so it's not too bad. Meat on the bone. I think by the time stack is a big block card, we're probably okay, but it's something that, you know, it's got a lot of potential. We just need these to be good value early. It's all going to be on getting that focus potion from White Beast. Although just spitting those out, you know, at 4 orb slots, so will be max orb slots, and filling them up with frost, that's 20 block a turn without doing anything is reasonable. But focus puts them at 6 block each, so it's 60 block a turn. It's more than reasonable. I like playing stack here because it's almost useless next turn. It's kind of useless next turn. Ooh, that's a lot of cards. Definitely can't take 80 damage though, so it's a good eruption. Out of steam. A bit of health though. Going. Oh, that was definitely wrong. So bad. Which is upkeeping 6 hours or less. Yeah, it's not very good for you. We're going for meat value. Let's go with that. Cool. Alright, we need to just not die here after that huge misplay against Giant Head. This is an absolutely massive misplay against Giant Head. I've made some really bad misplays in runs this week. Yeah, I know that feeling where there's not enough time, so you need to stay up, but then you're unproductive the next day, which means there's even less time. So you just need to stay up later. I've done it again. I've done it again. Why do you keep making these bad plays? Why, Panz? Here's the shuffle button. Yeah, it's crit. All right. That was a mess. Oh, now we get a preserved insect. Wow, regen's pretty strong here. Regen's actually super strong because of how it works. I really don't want to writhe. My starting hand's bad, and I think it just stays there forever too. Let's just lose the focus. This is more than double. Like, it starts at gain 10 instead of gain 5, which is a huge amount more. Value. See, as long as I can block, I want to. Oh, it doesn't get that. I have 4 holograms. I do now. Collector's coming in strong. Ah, nice, good. Accidental victory. Wow, that's okay, we got block now. Still trying to find that focus potion though. Where's meat value? Meat value's at 40. Have we played Bandage Up? I have. It'd be good, also be good to be a recycle. Recycle would be good. Take 6 to gain 12. To gain, I think. So I need to block 28. That's too much. Well, okay, it's better than weak at the moment, but I would much prefer focus. that. Come on. What if I just go one capacitor, one deck thing? Because that's 4 decks. Might have to use it here actually. That's not bad. Should be able to make this through. Good, didn't screw this one up. Not yet. Our glass is okay. I think I want another cold snap. We did not get a focus potion, which is sad. Even more sad by the fact that we didn't get we had to use the deck spot. In fact, we don't have any powers though. I don't know if I want to vulnerable one of these guys. I think I do. Kill one of these off straight away. So 16. Oh, 28. Where's my frost at? So we want to kind of purity out the best possible cards to purity. Zap's going to be one of them. probably dump the steam barriers at some stage of the bash. You can just get down to like, you know, see what can we're going to keep as much as possible that. May as well use these while we can. Get rid of them. Oh, Panz. Just threw away 50 points. No, well, there's no point worrying about trying now. What did I do wrong there? I had another steam barrier I could have played as well. What was it? It's a good set of cards to get rid of out of this deck. That filled up so we don't have to worry about it. Yeah, the no focus really hurts. Oh well. The lack of brain cells hurts as well. That's the deal. It's stacked too, which is nice. Ish, I guess. Not that much. I probably could have got more out of it. More mileage. Go for the eyes. Yeah, I did a lot better than that. Claw, yeah. Yeah, definitely the 50 points on that fight. That was bad. That was okay run. Orichalcum and Cloak Clasp are both relics you'll never take proper advantage of because you never remember triggers until the end of the turn. And Unceasing Top. Reasonable. That's better than reasonable. I'll take it.